I've been reviewing the City of Memphis's 2023 adopted operating budget, and I want to share what I've learned with you. So I'm going to start at the city level, then I'm going to move up to the county, and then we're going to go up to the federal level. Justice for Tyree Nichols. Every municipality in the country, local, federal, state, all of their inner workings are public record. Sometimes they're difficult to find. I went on the City of Memphis's website and pulled up their budget. It's hundreds of pages. It's a PDF, that's what it's called. Starting on page 341 is the police department. Here is their org chart, their operating budget. On page 343, it lists the highlights of the department, and if you scroll down under the organized crime unit, it lists the Scorpion Unit. The agency created the Crime Suppression Unit, Scorpion, also known as Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods, and the Fugitive Unit in the fiscal year 2022. Right above that are the grants that this department received. They got a JAG grant and an SPI grant. It's stated in here their primary objective of the Memphis Police Department is to work with the community to reduce crime. Interesting. Before we look at those grants, I want you to know that there is a committee in Memphis called CLRB, which stands for the Civilian Law Enforcement Review Board. It's an independent agency with the authority to investigate allegations of misconduct filed by citizens of the public against the Memphis Police Department. Here's the website. Here's the meeting schedule. Now let's go to the county level. Memphis is in Shelby County. They were awarded this JAG money, which is the Justice Assistance Grant Program, for $1 million and some change, benefiting Memphis PD. The JAG grant was administered and dispersed by the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the BJA, which is under the Department of Justice, DOJ. Here's the original call. Here's the award announcement. You can pause to read what it was for. This is from 2021 and what they were awarded. This is a press release from DOJ from the U.S. Attorney's Office of Western District of Tennessee. Memphis and Shelby County received more than $11 million awards to support efforts to combat violent crime. It mentions other sources of funding here with that BJA grant. This is the budget for Shelby County. They list all of the grants that they have received. Operation Relentless Pursuit from DOJ. In 2020, the Leadership Conference of Civil and Human Rights issued a press release speaking out against the ORP, specifically mentioning George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade. I'll have to do a part two. To the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, where they issued a press release against the ORP. ORP stands for Operation Relentless Pursuit. This press release was pleading to the House Committee on Appropriations and Oversight and Reform, opposing that they provide any more funding to this ORP program. For decades, the federal government has dumped resources into criminal legal system that has caused untold harm to Black and other communities. LaShawn Warren recommends the government invest in non-carceral community-led programs. ORP started in 2019 with $71 million allocated for 7 cities: Albuquerque, Baltimore, Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas, Memphis, and Milwaukee. This is why people call the government alphabet soup, okay? Bear with me. The House Committee on Appropriations allocated $71 million to the Department of Justice. Department of Justice turned around and dispersed $51 million to COPS, which is Community-Oriented Policing Services, and the remainder to the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the BJA, which is where they got that JAG money from. ORP replicates the most devastating aspects of violent crime control and law enforcement. These actions are not constructive ways to achieve true public safety, but serve only to continue the legacy of systematic racism and criminalization of minority communities. This was published on 7/15 of 2020. From the COPS disbursement, Memphis requested 50 positions be funded, and it was awarded. They were awarded $9.8 million. Here is a PowerPoint from DOJ and Memphis Police talking about their phases of relentless pursuit. These are all the agencies involved in this particular operation. This is the kind of nonsense that's in this PowerPoint. Back to Shelby County budget. I'm on Shelby County, Tennessee's adopted budget for 2023. Project Safe Neighborhoods. They also received funding from that program. Here is an agenda from Shelby County, Tennessee, talking about the Project Safe Neighborhood program. Memphis PD was awarded $139 and some change. They also had a research partner. Here is another press release from DOJ under the U.S. Attorney Office for Western District of Tennessee. DOJ awarded over $17 million to the Western District. This program was implemented on October 1st and will continue till September 30th, 2024. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office main source of revenue, state reimbursement for jail. It's going to be a part 3. I'm reviewing Shelby County's adopted budget for fiscal year 2023. Shelby County's adopted budget for law enforcement. These are all of the grants that the county received. Here you can see that JAG Award, Project Safe Neighborhoods, and Relentless Pursuit through the BJA. I'm going to go back down to the City of Memphis's Police Department's budget to look at that SPI grant. This is page 343 of the fiscal year 23 adopted budget for the City of Memphis. SPI grant, $500,000. The SPI stands for Smart Policing Initiative. It's under the Bureau of Justice Assistance. The Bureau of Justice Assistance is under the Department of Justice. Basically, SPI works with law enforcement agencies to identify innovative and evidence-based solutions to effectively and efficiently tackle chronic crime problems in their jurisdictions. That SPI money paid for this research by Richard Janikowski of the University of Memphis in partnership with Memphis Police Department, with a focus on robbery and burglary. Their research population was in Old Allen Station, which is approximately 6,000 parolees and people on probation live. This is SPI's website where you can find a lot of data. Going back to Memphis's budget, page 343, right here, Scorpion Unit. Okay. Why am I showing you all of this information? It's not just these officers in this Scorpion Unit that are responsible. As somebody who went to graduate school for a master's in public administration, who can read government documents, who writes grants, ultimately the House Appropriations Committee allocated money to the Department of Justice for many of these policing programs, which ultimately led to the Scorpion Unit. You have independent researchers then validating and backing up their data to request funds. Even though you have civil rights leaders from all over the country speaking up and out in these conferences saying, this isn't working. Don't be fooled and blame just these officers. This is a bigger problem. Justice for Tyree Nichols.